After months of unraveling lies, after witnesses came forward describing laughter and screams, after a family begged for answers, the police has made its decision. The death of Tyrone Dro Davis Jr. has been ruled an accident, not a criminal investigation, not a homicide, not even a reckless endangerment charge. Accident. Case closed. Move along. Let that sink in. A man was found dead under a bridge. The last person with him gave 3 different stories. Witnesses say there were 4 people in that car. Witnesses say they heard him scream. Witnesses say he was pushed. And the state's official response? Accident. What message is Florida sending to its citizens? That if you commit murder, all you need is a coordinated story and a slow investigation? That if the system fails to do its job from day one, they'll just call it an accident and call it a day. Before we go on, this is true Crime Unraveled, and we have a lot to unpack. To everyone watching on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok, we see you. We read every comment, every theory, every time you tag a friend. Keep it coming. And to those of you sending super thanks on YouTube, we appreciate you. You keep this channel going. You keep these stories alive. Thank you. Now let's get into what this ruling really means. Polo on his Facebook broke it down in terms anyone can understand. The medical examiner, they work with the city. They ruled what they ruled because they had no choice. They couldn't give it a different ruling. To give it another ruling is to open up a lawsuit for the city. Think about that. The medical examiner's office isn't some independent body seeking truth. They're connected to the city. They're part of the same system. And if they rule a death a criminal matter when the police already botched the investigation, they're essentially admitting the city failed. To change it from an accident to a criminal investigation is a door. It's a door to open up a guaranteed lawsuit. The city would have no choice but to settle because they never did investigation. They never pulled camera footage. When they said it was an ongoing investigation, they lied. They never did nothing. So the ruling isn't about evidence. It's about liability. It's about protecting the city from paying out millions in a wrongful death lawsuit. It's about covering tracks. To give that paperwork another ruling beside what was already put on them is suicide for the city. They had no choice. Suicide for the city. Not justice for Dro. Not accountability for whoever was in that car. Just protecting the budget.
But let me tell you something else. They didn't rule it an accident or whatever because that's what they felt like it was. Know what I mean? The medical examiner, they work with the city. They ruled what they ruled because they had no choice. They couldn't give it a different ruling. To give it another ruling is to open up a lawsuit for the city. The ME work with the city. They can't just do that. But if enough pressure was applied, then they will be forced to make that decision. But being the fact that enough pressure wasn't applied, they didn't feel like they were obligated to change that ruling. But if you pay attention to every time pressure is applied, that ruling get changed. But being the fact that the Davis side of the family didn't put boots on the ground and apply full court pressure like they should have, that's why they didn't change it from what it was. To change it from an accident to a motherfucking criminal investigation is a door. It's a fucking door to open up a guaranteed lawsuit. The city would not win. The city would have no choice but to settle because they never did an investigation. They never did pull the camera footage. When they said it was an ongoing investigation, they lied. They never did nothing. So to give that paperwork another ruling beside what was already put on there is suicide for the city. It's suicide. It's suicide. They had no choice. That's why the Davis family should have paid and still can pay for their own autopsy report. They can pay for a private autopsy report. They don't have to go by what the city gave out. They didn't have to go by what the ME gave out that were connected to the city. They could have got their own private autopsy report done privately. It's so many things that you can do outside the city, but you got to pay for that. You got to pay for that. We all know, let me tell you something, we all know that. You know what I mean? If you're not satisfied with the autopsy report, then you pay for your own. If you feel like foul play took place, then you pay for your own autopsy report. You go get your own medical examiner or your own people to do it. You pay outside people to get it done. Outside people get it done. That's just like, that talking about, oh man, listen man, everybody lie. The judge lie, the state lie, the prosecutor lie, the people in the jury lie. They know he was innocent, but they still say he was guilty. In this world, bro, in this world, you'll learn when it comes to the city and it comes to the government. Sometimes they gotta lie, and sometimes they will lie to prevent payment or any money being paid out to anybody. They will lie. This is a proven fight. These people lie every day. But when you apply enough pressure, they have no choice but to give it a different ruling. If you pay attention to the history of Florida, the state of Florida move a certain way. Anytime you come at anything humble in the state of Florida, you would not get no justice. In the state of Florida, anytime you approach any situation when it can revolve your family, especially of the minority in the state of Florida, anytime you come humble, you will get no answers. You will get no justice. Every time pressure was applied in the state of Florida, they got results. They got results. If this would have happened in Polk County, Grady would have had Lulu ass in the jailhouse. If it would happen in Daytona, they would have had your ass in the jailhouse. If it happened in certain counties, it would have never slid. It would have never passed. It would have never passed. Grady would have been sitting right there with his gold chain on, getting a press review. Laying that shit out, cause Grady ain't no fool. He ain't going for it. He don't give a fuck what color you is. Daytona Beach, the goddamn Chef Chipman, whatever the fuck his name is, he ain't going for it. He ain't going for it. Certain areas, they ain't going for it. Bitch, you going to jail until further notice, and that's just what it is.
And here's where Polo didn't hold back. He pointed out what the Davis family should have done from the beginning. And let's talk about something else that makes no sense. Even if we take the police report at face value, even if we ignore the witnesses, ignore the screams, ignore the 4 people in that car, their own ruling doesn't hold up. Polo pointed out something that should be obvious, but somehow got lost in all the noise. If I jumped out of the car, it wouldn't be an accident. It would be suicide. If I jumped out the car, I committed suicide. I caused my own death. That's not an accident. Think about that. The police report says he jumped. Lulu's story says he jumped. But if he jumped, that means he intentionally exited that moving vehicle. That means he made a choice. And when you make a choice that ends your own life, that's not an accident. That's suicide. So even if we accept their version of events, the version that contradicts witnesses, contradicts physics, contradicts common sense, they still got it wrong. They can't even rule their own story correctly. This isn't an accident. It never was. It's either a crime or a suicide. And since everyone who knew Tyrone says he had no reason to take his own life, since he was fighting to get back in that car according to witnesses, since he was hollering and trying to survive, the only logical conclusion is the one they refused to make. This was a crime. And by ruling it an accident, the state isn't just protecting itself from a lawsuit. They're gaslighting a family into believing their son's death was something it clearly wasn't.
That's all she was saying. But let me educate you on something. They didn't rule. Let me tell you something. If I jumped out of the car, it wouldn't be an accident. It would be suicide. If I jumped out the car, it would be suicide. I committed suicide. Accident means that's something I didn't do intentionally. If you saying I jumped out the car on my own, then I committed suicide. Accident mean it didn't mean to happen. I didn't mean to do it. But if I jumped out, like you said, I jumped out the car, that's committing suicide. I caused my own death. That's not an accident. Just like, you know what I mean, when little Papa died in Gainesville, it wasn't ruled an accident. He caused his own death. It was ruled a suicide.
The Davis family should have paid, and still can pay for their own autopsy report. They can pay for a private autopsy report. They don't have to go by what the city gave out. They could have got their own private autopsy report done privately. A private autopsy, done by an independent examiner not connected to the city. That's how you challenge the official narrative. That's how you force the system to take a second look. If you're not satisfied with the autopsy report, you pay for your own. If you feel like foul play took place, you pay for your own. You go get your own medical examiner. You pay outside people to get it done. But that costs money. Money the family has been raising through donations. Money that's now going toward a private investigator. But Polo suggests they need to go further. What the Davis family needs to do is get a lawyer. A lawyer comes with PIs already on their firm. When you hire a good lawyer, the lawyer comes with private investigators. But most importantly, you can get your own autopsy report. A lawyer, not just a PI. A lawyer who can file motions, demand evidence, and hold the city accountable in court. When you're going against the city, when you're going against the government, you're going against a mammoth. And when you go against a mammoth, you gotta apply full court pressure. You can't go against the city being humble. You can't go against the government being humble. Humble won't work. Polite won't work. Waiting won't work. You have to fight fire with fire. Polo made a point that should make every Floridian pay attention. If this would have happened in Polk County or Daytona, they would have had her ass in the jailhouse. Certain counties, it would have never slept. It would have never passed. Why? Because different counties have different standards, different sheriffs, different levels of accountability. But in Gainesville, it's an accident. In Gainesville, the girlfriend who kept driving gets to walk. In Gainesville, the family gets silence. That's not justice. That's geography. Now let's talk about Rena Demps, Tyrone's mother. The woman who told police Lulu was a model girlfriend. The woman who posted a response to fake accusations that Polo was threatening her. Polo addressed this directly. If anybody ever thought I was worried about the police fucking with me, you got the game fucked up. I ain't sent you no messages. I ain't sent you no threats. Whatever you try to tell the police, I don't give a flying fuck. He made it clear. He never threatened her. He never sent anything. And if she's going to the police with accusations, she better have receipts. But here's the part that cuts deep. That same energy you got towards how you feel about me, you should have had that same energy when it came to your son. That same energy. The same energy your daughter got about me. You should have had that same energy for Dro. That's the heart of it. All this energy defending herself against internet rumors. All this energy posting stories and recording conversations. Where was that energy when her son needed her to fight? Not once did you holler justice for your son. You wonder why people on your ass. Because your actions show where your priorities are. When these people out here that really deserve justice, they not out here cutting up. They not running down on nobody. They just living their life. They ain't do nothing to hurt nobody. And when people out here living their normal life, they don't deserve to die just because you failed to do the right thing.
I want to say this right here before I say anything. If anybody ever thought I was concerned or worried about a motherfucker fucking with P, you got the game fucked up. If you ever thought that I was worried about the police fucking with P, you got the game fucked up. See, the reason why I ain't worried about the police fucking with P, you could paint the picture to whoever and make it seem like whatever. I ain't sent you no messages. I ain't sent you no text messages. I ain't sent you no threats. Whatever you try to tell the police, I don't give a flying fuck. If you think for a minute that you trying to set me up and have them police lock me up, man, I don't give a fuck. See, cause one thing about this city is, you would never have the benefit of saying that I sent you something out the norm. See, one thing about these IP addresses and one thing about these messages is, man, you need more than just messages or a fake account and say that somebody sent something to you. All that telling people I'm the one sending you messages, nah, I ain't gotta send you no messages. If anybody choose to send you a message or send you a text, that's their personal decision. That's their personal opinion, whatever they state or whatever they choose to send to you. Polo ain't told nobody to see nothing. And according to the law, you need more than just that. You actually need fights that somebody's actually threatening you. See, I was keeping my inner thoughts to myself. But I always gotta remember, when your daughter made a post talking about why I'm so hard on her mama, well, your mama the same one who told the police in Gainesville that I threatened her life and I should be put in jail. But you know what them police in Gainesville said? You ain't got no proof. We ain't got no proof. We haven't seen that man threaten you or none of that. But we would walk you outside the courtroom, if you need us to walk you outside the city hall. So when you ask talking about why I'm so hard on your mama, cause your mama lied to the police on me. That's why. I don't know if she told you that, but she clearly did. And everybody in Gainesville that was down there showing us seen that. Yeah. And let me say something else for the record. To wake up to see that you did post inside your stories, having a conversation about people. You allegedly talking to the police or whoever the lady is, talking about, they saying that it was rule of accident, but they saying I had something to do with it. And then, but you ain't just sticking talking about you. You had no other choice, and you feel like you obligated, to make so you say, and they say Kiara hit him with a Hennessy bottle, and Kiara did that. But not once did you holler justice for your son. Just like when you was inside there, and you were all these posts you make, not once did you actually ask justice for your son. You wonder why people on your ass, or people saying what they saying. Cause your actions, you can't get mad about what somebody said on the internet. Just like when people respond and talk about shit I'm saying, I can't get mad. I can state my opinion about what they said, but you can't get mad because guess what? You post that shit in your goddamn stories because you want the people to hear it. You want people to see it. So that's why you posted it. And I just want to let you know. I just want to let you know something. I want you to let you know something. So if that was law enforcement and I was an officer, you violated the law by recording that whoever that was and posting on your social media site. Just so you know that, since you run into the police and quick to tell something, to record law enforcement agency without their permission, whoever it is without their permission or knowledge, and to post it on social media, you committed a crime. You committed a crime. You committed a crime yourself. So I appreciate you posting it on your page. I appreciate you posting your story that you were recording allegedly law enforcement agency or law enforcement staff or whoever it is. Because apparently at some point, it seemed like all she was doing just agreeing with what you said.
This isn't just about Dro. It's about every case where the system fails. Every family left without answers. Every ruling that protects the city instead of serving the truth. We so accustomed to brushing shit under the rug. When these people out here that really deserve justice, they get forgotten. But I promise you this, if it happened to your family member, you'd be the first one hollering. And that's the truth. It's easy to scroll past when it's not your son. Easy to ignore when it's not your brother. Easy to accept an accident ruling when you don't have to live with the questions. But the Davis family has to live with it. Those children have to live with it. And now the state of Florida has told them, we're done investigating. Move on. Here's what I think. The ruling of accident was never about evidence. It was never about what really happened under that bridge. It was about protecting the city of Gainesville from a lawsuit they would lose. The police failed to investigate from day one. They didn't secure the scene. They didn't pull camera footage. They didn't interview the right people. They let a body be moved, evidence be contaminated, and a coordinated story take root. And once that failure was baked into the case, the only way to avoid accountability was to make the problem disappear. Rule it an accident. Close the file. Hope the family goes away. But the family isn't going away. They're raising money for a PI. They're talking to lawyers. They're marching in parades. They're keeping Dro's name alive. And they should. Because the alternative is unthinkable. The alternative is letting whoever was in that car, whoever went from laughing to pushing in 5 minutes, walk free. The alternative is letting those children grow up believing their father's death was just an accident when witnesses heard him scream. The state of Florida failed Tyrone Davis Jr. The Gainesville Police Department failed him. The medical examiner failed him. But the Davis family hasn't failed him. And as long as they keep fighting, this case isn't over. Because accidents don't have witnesses describing laughter and screams. Accidents don't have 4 people in a car coordinating stories. Accidents don't have money moved from brain-dead men's accounts. This was no accident. And one day, whether through a lawsuit, a private investigation, or a witness finally telling the whole truth, the world will know it. Here's what I need from you. Keep watching. Keep commenting. Keep sharing. Don't let this story die. This is True Crime Unraveled. On YouTube, we're at True Crime Unraveled. On Facebook and TikTok, it's True Crime Unraveled TV. Follow us, subscribe, hit the bell, and keep this conversation alive. And to those of you sending super thanks, we appreciate you more than you know. You keep this channel going. You keep these stories alive. Thank you. Drop your theories in the comments. We read every single one. The state called it an accident, but we know better. And as long as the Davis family keeps fighting, so will we. Justice for Dro.
And people be hollering about, oh, this and this and that. But yeah, you know, you shouldn't have really lied to the police. And then I learned talking about P word. Nigga, P ain't worried about shit, nigga. Fuck you mean. If you think I'm anywhere, solo, you out your rabbit ass mind. I ain't no fool, nigga. They don't send warning shots, nigga. Ain't no warning shots being sent, nigga. Fuck you mean, you flinch wrong. And let me state this for the record. Since you're probably having people record, not once have I ever sent you a threat or any of your family members. I ain't threatened nobody. I ain't sent no messages. I ain't sent no text messages. The only message I ever tie you in will tell you I ain't sent no message to you. Remember, I tied you in that post telling you I ain't never sent no message to you. I don't know who did that. So when you go to the police, make sure you got your receipts. Make sure you got your receipts. I don't change IP addresses. I don't. I'm not worried about the police. I'm not actually worried about nobody. Nobody at all. Not all. Because just the amount of energy you got towards how you feel about me, you should have had that same energy when it came to your son. That same energy. The same energy. You should have had that same energy. The same energy that your daughter and whoever, and your daughter probably speaking because of some fact I brought her name up too, you know, the one that got the daycare, the one that's under investigation for fraud, you know, whoever, it don't matter. P don't see the police. P know the law. Trust me, I done broke the law so many motherfucking years, I know that motherfucker back, forward, up, and motherfucking down. And I ain't gotta send nobody your way. And I ain't gotta send nobody to do nothing to you. No, none of that shit there for what? It's pointed, you gonna be haunted by your own spirits. You gonna be haunted by your own demons. You gonna be haunted. That woo gonna be serious. That woo gonna touch you in so many motherfucking ways, it ain't gonna make no sense. I ain't gotta send nobody at you, man. That pointless. 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 So stop telling the police that I'm the one who's sending threats to you. Stop telling the police I'm the one who harassing you. Stop telling the police all them lies. Because when you post something on social media, just like you did, I could come to social media and speak about anything that was posted on social media. Anything that's brought to the internet, I could speak about it. If you don't want nobody to speak about it, keep it off the internet. Keep it off the internet. But just like you made it your business to post that in your stories, you should have made it your business to post in your stories justice for Dro. That's what you should have made. But these insurance policies and everything else is more it's more important. It's more important than cash out on the insurance policy. Polo must hit certain nerves that no other blogger can hit. Polo must strike nerves or hit certain bones that no other blogger on social media can hit. Because it's apparently that the only person that can strike your nerve or strike any one of y'all nerves is Polo. It's Polo. Out of all the bloggers, the only person that y'all feel that y'all gotta speak on is Polo. Congratulations. You got me to speak this morning. Congratulations. Congratulations. And I would too. Because everybody paying attention. Everybody watching. Everybody. See, but when everybody else just talking, and everybody else just run their mouth and they going here and going there and going this and going there, y'all don't speak on them bloggers because y'all feel like them bloggers so far off. I wouldn't speak on no blog either if I feel like they was off. I'm just going to let them talk. But if you always speaking on one specific blogger, out of all the bloggers on the internet, it make you wonder. It make people think, why? 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 Because when I come, I'm coming with receipts. Them people ain't lying. Them people ain't lying. I'm not going to sit here and say, for now, you got to wait. For now, y'all got to wait. Take that getting away with whatever as a temporary blessing. Take it. Take it and run with it. Take it and run with it. Enjoy it. Enjoy it while you can. But to know, man, to know that a man mother has no love for her child, and for the people who claim that she had love for her child, y'all crazy. Because there's no way that a mother gonna get up and post some stupid ass shit like that in her stories. Knowing, for one, I definitely ain't gonna defend or make sure that person name known who had just lied in my face several times. The last person with my son. The same person who said he bumped his head in the car at the gas station. Then jumped out the car. Then got hit by a car. The same person. I'm definitely not going to be on no side talking about she right. Y'all just run from the truth. And y'all just comfortable with the bullshit. And y'all had no love for T2. Regardless of how the fuck y'all feel, regardless of how y'all think and what y'all say, family will switch up quick. And all that time about, oh, that's my brother, that's my cousin, that shit don't mean shit. And I'm going to say this shit 1,000 times, I'm going to say it 1,000 more. The only person talking about over there that I have seen actually feel the pain of losing T2 is Gabe. Outside the Davis family, the only person that I seen that genuinely miss T2 and genuinely care about T2 is Gabe. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's the only nigga I see that holler justice for Dro. Justice for his cousin. That's the only nigga I see post that constantly. The only nigga. Only nigga. Not one time did he ever defend Lulu. Not one time did he ever jump on anybody's podcast. You know what I mean? Collaborating. Even teeny tiny agreeing with Lulu. Not once have he ever switched up and changed up justice for Dro. Not once. Not once. That's the only man that I've seen outside certain family members that get on his goddamn platform and scream justice for his cousin. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. And I mean what I say when I said what I said. That's the only nigga that I feel that really wanted justice for Dro outside everybody who was hanging around him. Out of everybody that was hanging around him. That's the only nigga that I have seen from day one want nothing but answers to what happened to his cousin. Nothing but justice for Dro. And he been standing on that shit. Even to the day, he still standing on that shit. Can't say that about the rest of y'all. Y'all online talking about everything else. Everything else. Except justice for Dro. Y'all don't even throw up there on the comments. Justice for Dro. It don't even cross y'all mind no more. Justice for Dro. Y'all out y'all mind, man. Out y'all mind. Y'all should be ashamed of y'allself. Shame of y'allself. But when the man was here, y'all showed enough was up for them donations. Y'all showed them was showing up when it was time for a nigga to show love. Y'all was there. Y'all was there when the bottle was popping. Whatever you want to eat, wherever you want to go, wherever you want to hang. Shit crazy. Shit crazy. You got the nerve, man. The Davis family, man, what y'all need to do is, y'all need to get y'all a lawyer. A lawyer got PIs already up on their firm. When you hire a good lawyer, the lawyer come with private investigators. But most importantly, you can get your own autopsy report. Just like when you got a judge, I could put in a motion to file for a change of venue. It's motions you can file. It's things that can be filed in the courtroom to stop progress on things. It's things you can file to halt things from happening. It's always a motion for something. Exalt all remedies. Use all your remedies. And when you're going against the city, and when you're going against the government, you're going against a mammoth. And when you go against a mammoth, you got to apply full court pressure. You can't go against the city being humble. You can't go against the government being humble. You can't go against these people that you won't answer from being humble. You got to put that paperwork on their ass. You got to put that lawyer on their ass. You got to apply pressure. Up your guns. Up your guns. Get them goddamn lawyers working. That's how you even the playing field. Know what I mean? Because they laugh now. It's all cool, you know. To laugh, to even think it is cool to not know what happened to your son. It's crazy. A rocket scientist could have seen that the medical examiner wasn't going to change the autopsy report. When they failed to do a proper investigation and never took nothing off the crime scene or where everything took place at, you knew right then and there that the medical examiner couldn't, even if he wanted to, he couldn't put nothing different on that paper. Because to do so, it's a guaranteed lawsuit. A lawsuit that the city of Gainesville would have no choice but to settle because they have no grounds or no paperwork or no nothing to show that they ever did an investigation. They lied about everything. And when you lie about everything, you need people a little higher than you to cover your tracks. And that's what happened. A favor for a favor. They fucked up. And the medical examiner covered their tracks. Cover their tracks. Just like when you go in that courtroom and you got lawyers and you know you got a high profile case, sometimes you got to go get a lawyer that's not from that city, not from that area. Because to do so, they owe each other favors. And yeah, he may be representing you, but he tied in with them. They all sit at the same table. And guess what they gonna do? They gonna swap your ass out. And you could be innocent. But they owe each other favors. So you ain't gonna walk away. Hey, you know what we gonna do? Offer him 10 years, and that'll be exchange for when you gave that person over there a pass. Cause in my city at one point in time, we had pay or stay. And this happened in a lot of cities in the state of Florida. If you had the money, the charges disappeared. Know what I mean? The judges had secret accounts. Secret account, the judges, the same people that designed to send you to prison, the same people dictate your faith and dictate where you go at. These same judges all had charities. They all had charities. And if you had the money at the time to deposit in that charity, guess what? Your charges disappeared. It wasn't about right or wrong. It's about who had the money at the right time. See, if you were never a criminal, you will never understand how this world and these court systems so dirty. Everything is based on money. So when people holler about ain't money, it's based on money. See, us criminals and us who broke the laws, we knew how corrupt the system was. It wasn't about justice. It was never about justice. It's about how much money you possess at that time. And if you get put in front of the right judge, all it takes is the right head movement, the right agreement, and them charges disappeared. And you could have been guilty. But that shit ain't mean nothing. You made that donation, and them charges disappeared. One thing about this world, man, we gotta understand is, when people holler about it ain't about money, everything about money. Money move mountains. Money make shit happen. Money make just money. Money. The right amount of money get you what you want. We all know that. We all know that. Regardless of how many people want to act like they don't know what the fuck going on, the right amount of money always get what you want. Trust me. I know. But one thing about this world that we live in, it's a lady, that same lady, remember that lady who fucked around and she didn't do the autopsy and she didn't do that investigation on her daughter when they found her daughter? And she didn't want the investigation, she settled for that money. She wanted money over justice for her own child. You see what happened to her? She be running around the street butt ass naked. She be thinking she be saying shit. She can't even sleep right. She be twitching. That's her child coming back to remind her that what she did was foul. She chose money over justice for what she carried. One thing about it is, man, when they say money is the root to all evil, it's because when you play games and you do corrupt shit for that money, it always come back to haunt you. It always come back to haunt you. Because in order, you get this money, but understand this right here, it's something you got to give in order to keep this money. And sometimes getting that money don't even be worth everything that gonna haunt you. But you got the money and you got what you wanted. But it's a lot more that come with it. It's a lot more that come with it. You can't never get them kids back. You can't never get them memories back. You can't get that back. And to everybody around the world, bro, who feel like this shit right, y'all fucked up. Y'all fucked up individuals. It don't give a fuck if I had to know a nigga or out close to a nigga to know something's fucked up. Just like that girl from Broward County, cause that was my next case I was gonna take. That girl from Broward County that died in that prison, that girl deserved justice. She begged them guards to take her to the hospital. They failed her. She deserved justice too. I just ain't dropped that post yet, but she deserved justice too. And she from Broward County or somewhere down south too. She deserved justice too, cause the system failed her too. The system failed her. She ain't deserve to die, regardless of what she did. It didn't call for her not to receive the treatment she was supposed to receive. Regardless of what she did to be incarcerated, she didn't deserve for them to neglect taking her to the hospital. She didn't deserve that. So she deserved justice too. See, this ain't just one thing. It's a movement nationwide. It's time to stop brushing shit up under the rug. We so accustomed to brushing shit up under the rug when there's people out here that really deserve justice. They weren't out here in the streets cutting up. They weren't out here running down nobody. They were just living their life, or they were doing their time. They ain't do nothing to hurt nobody. They weren't doing nothing to hurt nobody. And when people out here living their normal life, having fun, enjoying it, or even if they doing time, they don't deserve to die. Just because you failed to do the right thing, they don't deserve to die behind that. They ain't commit no crime.